Hey everybody, Chris here. We've got some mixed signals being shown for Dogecoin. We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And we did have the posting of the Dogecoin Golden Cross as I predicted. Yes, that happened last night. I'll show you that on the charts. Right now, we're looking at key support levels. Are we going to break below that support level? Right now, I'm recording this right before the United States has their inflation posting number. Again, I think it's going to be a nothing burger, 2.7 or 2.8. There's a narrative either way. The tariffs aren't all priced in yet. We don't know what the effects of the tariffs are going to be on inflation. Blah, 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 blah. That's all just, the current little news thing that's going to cause a little volatility in the trading. In the end, it's not really going to matter. It's not going to matter. But that's what we talk about. We'll look at Bitcoin, we'll look at ETH, we'll look at the altcoins, we'll look at the ETFs, and of course some Dogecoin charts as well. So let me get into it. Let me show you what I'm looking at. And we start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart, and here we are at 22.12. Yes, we're holding right above 22 cents there, which was a critical line that we were looking at. I'll zoom in on this in just a little bit, and we'll show you why I thought that was a critical line, and if that breaks, we could see Dogecoin break down further to 20 cents and maybe into the upper 19s. But first, while we're on the daily chart, here's the Golden Cross. And it did post last night, just as I predicted. If we had had a much greater drop in the price of Dogecoin yesterday, I still think it would have printed. It wouldn't have had much of an effect. The 50 was destined to cross over the 200 here. But here we are still in August, and August is still part of the summer of chop, which means this Golden Cross doesn't mean that we're just going to go parabolic after, although some people are still predicting parabolic, which I'll show you in just a little bit. However, it's too soon for that, and we're still going to chop around, I believe. And so all of this is still in play. Let me zoom in to the 30-minute chart. We can zoom in on what's going on here. Here's our 22-cent support line right here. We did dip below. That's right, early this morning. 21.99, right? I was talking about that on the dip. We were on the live stream yesterday, and I was like, watch for that. Watch for that to pick up some 21.99. But we zoom back, and we're like, look, this was the line. These were the lower lows that we had back here on Friday. And if we drop below that level here, that means most likely we would be going back to the next lower line, which is 21 cents, maybe 20.99 on a dip. So again, penny by penny, this is how Dogecoin trades. I don't want to put that line on my chart yet at 21 cents. I don't want to draw that line all the way across yet. So we'll see whether this bounces off. Bitcoin showing some weakness as well, right around 118.4. It did hit this support line here yesterday and may come and retest it as well as support. So we'll be watching that. But ETH continues to move up. So the money is flowing into ETH, which means as we see ETH holding up very strongly, we do see the Bitcoin dominance, right? The Bitcoin dominance has weakness. The only thing fighting against Bitcoin right now is ETH. The alts are bleeding out still. Alts are not performing as well as Bitcoin, but ETH continues to outperform Bitcoin. Again, we did drop below 60% on the Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin came back up over the weekend, but here we are now, kind of going sideways. Again, mixed signals across the board right now. Overall, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin slip ahead of the inflation data release. So what's the inflation data? What's the number going to be? In the big scale, this is nothing burger. Like I said, it's going to be a short-term little volatility thing. Are you going to trade it? Are you going to buy, sell, do some trading? We'll see. Hey, there's the cat. Pax Cat making an appearance on a video. Yes, on a video today. Not just the live stream. The Pax Cat is here. Bitcoin. So we hit this fair value gap, according to Stock Money Lizards, again, just like we had hit a fair value gap on a dip back in June before moving up. So very, very positive. Again, don't expect a straight line up here, some chop around here before the next leg up, but this move to 140, 150K is a positive move looking forward for Bitcoin, not expecting a big pullback to the 0.382 fair value gap line again, which again would be back in like 112, 110. I mean, we're talking about Bitcoin dropping to $112,000 being a big deal. And it's just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's like, they're big numbers now. The big numbers. But Bitcoin dominance. Now, we may see through August Bitcoin dominance come back up and retest this area where Bitcoin outperforms the market. But ETH right now is the one that is holding Bitcoin dominance down because the money is flowing into ETH right now, very strongly into ETH. So I don't know whether Bitcoin dominance is going to get back up to 63% or not right now. It's not looking like it. It looks like it's going to bounce around down here. The Bitcoin ETF flows are turning back around. From last week, we had a lot of outflows, right? And that was Bitcoin coming back down, right? The ETFs aren't always a guarantee that it's all going to be positive. But at the end of next week, or the end of last week, those turned around, more positivity. And as I'm recording this, we don't have BlackRock's numbers yet for Monday's ETF flow, but I'm assuming it's probably positive and the Bitcoin numbers are positive. But ETH, huge. We have the BlackRock numbers for ETH, $639 million. So there's $1 billion flowing into the ETH ETF on yesterday. Imagine if there was a Dogecoin ETF already, and we would see this kind of action for Doge ETF. So we wait patiently for Dogecoin, for its ETFs. Still a couple months away, missing out on a lot of this great action though, unfortunately right now. Alt season, Crypto Rover says, look, alt season is already started by looking at Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin dominance starting to fall here. But again, in my opinion, this is more a testament to ETH and not the rest of the alts. Yeah, there's a few alts here and there that have been doing well, but for the most part, they're still very volatile. And as soon as there's a little red in the market, we have Bonk and these other ones just dropping hard. So this is what's in play though later on, is Bitcoin dominance to come down. How far is it going to come down? I'm not expecting, all the way down to 40. Again, like I've said, maybe 50, 55, because I think Bitcoin just has too much positivity going for it. And altcoin dominance. So Bitcoin Census says, look, altcoin dominance is ready to blow. And I think, not quite so fast yet. I think we wait until October. Again, we're going to have this very short period of time, a short window from like mid-September to mid-November probably, where we're going to see some explosive growth. That's what I'm looking at. We've got the crossover coming on the MACD. This is going to curl back up into the green, and then we're going to be in October. So this is all setting up for that, but the signals right now in the shorter term are mixed. Trader Allen looking at this inverse head and shoulders. Is this going to play out? Right now, that right shoulder has not completely formed yet. And actually, Doge is kind of bleeding out, kind of sideways and down since Allen posted this last night. So I think this is invalidated. Again, the mixed signals continue to show a 4-hour retest. We went from overbought. We have a reset. But this reset is happening on the RSI, like just below 50. But sometimes the RSI doesn't reset just below 50. Sometimes it just goes all the way down to 30 or even to 20 and is totally oversold. So I don't know where this pullback is going to end. Again, we're in August now, summer of chop, and I don't think we're ready for this quick turnaround like Alan is showing for August. 32 cents by August 19th. That's not in play. I'm not seeing that in the chart, but Alan is being very positive here. I get that. Johnny Woo's like, look, 2 bullish patterns on a 4-hour for Doge, and that he's looking at the same thing as this sort of inverse head and shoulder thing, but this is not turning around on the shoulder. It's not turning around. People say, oh, how come these TA patterns don't always play out like you think they are? Just like the Golden Cross, it's not going to be an automatic, like, parabolic run like Trader Allen is. A parabolic. It's like it's just gonna go up, and that's not what's happening. So again, I show these as a point of reference, only to give my commentary on them. That's why I show Alan's beautiful colored charts here, and then I say why that's not going to happen. Look, Dogecoin price. Technical analysis identifies 22 cents as critical support level. I didn't need TA to tell me that. I'm just looking at how it's traded before, and I already have 22 cents as a key support line, as I said earlier. And so we're going to see whether that plays a difference. Look, 84% of Doge addresses are currently in profit right now. That's great. And that's a level that previously triggered market pullbacks. We would like to see that 84 turn to 94 and then eventually 100 and see new all-time highs. That will be awesome. Fall of 2025. Exchange inflows have turned positive. That means that there's some extra Doge on exchanges that might be selling. We see that, though that fluctuates a lot. But yeah, 22 cents, we will see. Historical patterns suggest Doge could potentially reach new all-time highs in 2025, as I've been showing on the big charts, right? That is in play. And as we're looking at, again, these fib lines, and where we are in this blue support zone here, which has its bottom, again, 22 cents. So if 22 cents doesn't hold, then we could be seeing from this 50% Fibonacci retracement level, drawn from the 6-hour low back down to 19.5, do we retest 19.5? And that's my bearish analysis here with this red line that would continue down. So looks like right now we're having some green, meaning the CPI data was probably good, and we had a little positivity here as we're now just past 8:30. So it looks like the immediate response was up on that CPI data, posting some green candles there. So again, we'll cover that in more detail during the live stream on Tuesday afternoon. I think this is probably a short-term little green candle here, and we're going to see a retest back down. Overall, Dogecoin has priced, it's dropped 5.6% after its recent rally. Critical support test could be down to 19 cents. Again, that's the bearish outlook. I'm not a total bear right now, but I'm not a bull. I'm a mixed right now. Mixed signals is where I am right now, and particularly with this, I think this data is nothing. Again, we get this immediate green candle up, little volatility, and it's going to settle right back down. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Mixed signals. Are you feeling bearish, bullish, or are you just kind of meh? Again, I think we're in the summer of chop. This is the choppiness. Some more of that as we zoom in. Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.